Trump's 2019 executive order changed everything by making the IHRA definition the government's go to for fighting anti Semitism. But here's the T: the definitions got some serious reach. We're talking about calling out straight up Jew hatred, but it also flags things like comparing Israeli policies to Nazi actions or calling Israel racist. The definition includes classic anti Semitism like attacking Jews because or property, but extends to criticizing Israel's right to exist. Why is this controversial? Because universities like Harvard and Columbia being forced to choose adopt this definition or millions in federal funding. Is this protecting one group's rights worth limiting others' ability to speak freely about political issues? Okay. My thoughts on that, everyone's hearing about it. Like, why are you just censoring for one group? You're not even talking about racism, passing bills on racism. You're only passing bills on this anti-Semitism in the colleges. You're passing a bill. Even Trump did it back in 2016 to his last presidency. Florida governor, he passed anti-Semitism bills against our freedom of speech. Who gives them the right to do that for just one group? Because everyone, people, there's one group in power in the government right now, APAC, that got these people in their pockets. Of course, everyone's seeing about it. We're talking about it now. People are open to the idea that this is a possibility. You hear Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, avid supported for them because they're speaking out. We got to stick together because this is coming out and people are finally speaking about it and having the right to, because that's the freedom of speech. And then boom, we drop on this. People with visa cards are being deported because of thoughts on that. Their support on trying to stop this whole thing in Gaza and everything. But updated facts: 128 Jewish scholars have opposed the definition current use. Yeah. So Jewish people don't necessarily agree with this whole anti-Semitism bill. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic in a way. Man, bro, I'm about to get fucking banned for sure. 2/3 of UK universities have already adopted IHRA. Recent legal challenges in multiple countries. It's being passed over in all these countries already. They're adopting it. If you don't see what's going on, people, it's right in our faces, and you need to talk about it. Okay. Impact and academic conferences and speaker invitations. Growing divide between institutional policy and faculty views. Freedom of speech, that's clear. But these people in power think they have control over us. They think we're dumb enough to just like not see it. But there's a movement already growing that we see this happening over the years. Where it's like puppet strings that they have over our government and Trump, that they're going to be able to push this, which is ridiculous. Talk about it, because freedom of speech is on the line right now. Me just talking about this is on the line, and it's a dangerous time. It is a dangerous time. We need clear distinction between hate speech and political critic. Who gives the right to the government to censor any hate speech or actually determine what hate speech is? You could critique a person, you critique a government, a country, and not be called hate speech. It's called criticism. You got to be able to take criticism from anyone and not be hurt feelings about it, and you know just shouting racism or bigotry or anything like that. Universities should develop their own balance guidelines. Yeah, they should. In the schools, there should be a balance for sure, between just community wise and students. That should be talked amongst themselves, not politicized by a government or APAC or an organization, and NGOs type of thing for students, or just to be protected over something they're doing at another country. You know what I mean? I hope everyone knows what I mean, because this is a serious conversation. Protect both Jewish students and academic freedom. A lot of Jewish students don't agree with this bill, and they don't agree with everything their country Israel is doing, and they're being called out. They're being saying, you're being self-hated Jew, you're being a bigot. Not everything should be supported when you see things is going wrong in that country to another country. You shouldn't always agree, because they have the right to speak out and not be able to be called hated, that they're hating on their own country. No, it shouldn't. You're criticizing them, and that should be your right. You should be able to speak on it and not face any backlash or anything. Create spaces for respectful dialogue. Focus on education over punishment. Yeah, it should, and not indoctrination either. It's a crazy time. There's a lot going on in the world, and sports, culture, this is part of culture. Freedom of speech, able to talk, spanning our communication through YouTube, podcasts, social media, and it's backfired. Everyone's waking up, everyone's talking about it. So yeah, let's get into the conversations. Join the live, guys. Join the live and join the conversation so we could talk about it. But real talk, this isn't just about definitions or policies. It's about how we handle tough conversations in a diverse society, very diverse society. The IHRA definition started as a research tool, but has become something much bigger. While fighting anti-Semitism, racism, or any bigotry is crucial, we got to ask, are we solving one problem by creating another? Universities should be places where students can discuss complex issues, including criticizing government policies, while ensuring everyone feels safe and respected. The challenges isn't choosing between fighting hate and protecting free speech. It's finding ways to do both effectively. That's the conversation we need to start having now, before it's too late, before our freedom of speech is completely gutted. Our Second Amendment is completely gutted. In UK, it's totally over for them. I hopefully they could turn back around, but it just seems like nothing is going right over there. People are getting jailed because of they're praying in their minds in front of a abortion clinic and shit. Like, wrong thing, man. Being jailed for wrong thing. 1984, man. George Orwell. Crazy. I am paying attention to everything, and everyone should be paying attention also. Wake up. Let's pay attention. Yeah, you could be interested in sports. You could be interested in all these other things, MMA, basketball, NFL, cooking, whatever. But, pay attention to the news too. What's going around you. A lot of people are stuck in a box, and it's the way of thinking just stuck in a box. Step out of that. There's a big ass world around us. Pay attention before it's too late, guys. Really, really.